Hello again, Pride fans. Welcome to another edition of the WB Mason Coach Report right here on GoHofstra.com. I'm Dan Savarino with Joe Mihalich, the head coach of the Hofstra Pride men's basketball team. Pride finished out the regular season, the last two games, 1 win, 1 loss, and now going down to Baltimore this weekend for the CAA championship. But, Coach, let's briefly talk about last week. CFC, very good performance by you guys on senior day. What did you like from the squad?
As we were talking off the air about it, I thought our focus was really good, our attention to detail. We talked about living in the moment because there was a lot of things going on that night. It was 3.0 night. It was we dedicated the game to Headstrong, as we talked about last week, and it was senior night, and there's just a lot of things going on, and I was really proud of the guys for keeping their focus and staying focused with what we had to do and playing play by play. And the guys did a great job with it. Every possession counted. They made every play count, every dribble, every pass. And I thought we did a good job with that.
Well, on the road.
Unlike what we did Saturday against James. Let me help you out here a little bit. Unlike what we did Saturday against James Madison, which we can talk about a little bit, I guess, right?
Yeah, well, JMU, obviously a tougher game for you guys going down there. You kind of knew you were going to be matched up with them this upcoming weekend. Was there maybe something on the mind that you have them again, you don't want to show too much?
We talked about that. I mean, it wasn't just the elephant in the room. We talked about that. We knew it. Everybody knew it. I mean, there's no doubt that we were going to play them 2 weeks in a row. But we ironically, there were a lot of things we wanted to do, and we kind of fell behind early and couldn't do them. We wanted to see what would happen if we did this, if we did that, and as opposed to like not doing things. So it was kind of perplexing because we had a great couple days of practice. Really good focus in practice and all those things, and guys seemed to have a good bounce in their step and the whole bit, and then we came out and just didn't compete like we needed to compete, and it's not a good thing to be that way.
Do you think it's more of a mental thing going forward, and now they know once Baltimore starts, they have to be that kind of game that you saw against CFC, you saw against Drexel, you saw a few times this year in the last couple of weeks?
We had a pretty darn good month of February. It could have been better. But, if we'd have just won that last game, we could really be bragging about February. It has to be better. It has to be, the focus has to be better. The intensity has to be better. The desperation, the urgency, whatever. It's win one, buy one now. And if there's anything good about what happened against James Madison, it just, as I said to the guys, it was almost like a microcosm of our season because we know that we can be a really good team. We know that we can win this tournament. There's nobody you fear. You fear everyone, but you respect everyone, but you fear no one. We know we can win any game, we can lose any game. So if there's anything good that came out of it, we were able to, get all the bad stuff out of our system and recognize that while you're so close to being the best team in the league, you can be so close to being a very average team too.
Well, four-way tie atop. Now you're going to have to go through James Madison, defeat them to go on to either play William & Mary. There's a possibility because you're stuck in that bracket. Now, not look too far ahead there, but William & Mary, again, a team that you lost twice to. There's two teams you did lose twice to that you'd have to go through to be able to get to the championship game alone. Is there still any comfort knowing that you can beat these teams because you played them close both times?
Well, as I said, I mean, whoever we play, there's nobody that we know we can lose to anyone. We know that. But we lost to teams at home that we didn't think we should lose to, but we did. And there's nobody, whether it's the teams you mentioned or anybody else. We know that we can win those games. We know we have to play better to do it, but we know that we can win those games.
You guys have been able to streak all season long, be able to come back here, lose a couple of games, win 3, 4 in a row, 5 in a row, 6 in a row. That's what pretty much it becomes now. It's all about streaking the rest of the way to be able to winning a championship. Do you think that streaking early on in the season and being able to win consecutive games is going to help you now for this weekend?
Yeah, that can help. There's no doubt. We know what that's all about. And it's, when you do win, when you do have a great win, it's good to play that next day. It's good to play quickly. So, we know that we can. There's a lot of reasons why we should feel good about ourselves.
Well, there's a few guys on this team who have experience, at least, going to the NCAA tournament, going through this kind of tournament in this part. Wanye Green and Tansley, two guys, of course, from last year who didn't have that chance to go through. Now you have a couple of other guys getting under their belt. Jamal Robinson saw what it was like. Dion Nesmith knows what it's like. Do you feel this team's experience is starting to get to that point where you feel all right this year?
Oh, without a doubt. Our guys are, we are an experienced team. We've got a lot. We got some miles on our tires. We're not a bunch of freshmen and sophomores. We got, and it's funny. I met with Musa Kone, Dion Nesmith, Wanye Green, and Tansley yesterday, and I kind of just put it on them a little bit. Say, hey, listen, you guys have to just be yourselves. but it's time for you guys to take that extra step, get to that next level of leadership right now, and bring your team along and do all the things that, just by being yourself, do all the things that you have been doing to show what it's like to win a tournament.
4-5 game against James Madison. You've already seen them twice, like we said. One was a close loss at home, one was down there this past weekend. What is the one thing that needs to be done this weekend to be able to get a victory against them and then move on to the next round?
They might be watching the show. We can't talk about that. They might be watching the show. There's a bunch of things we have to do. There really is.
If there's one thing overall that's you have to be able to do to be able to cut down these nets this weekend, what is it?
You know what? I guess you got to be consistent. You really do, and we can point back to that Charleston game that we talked about earlier on the show. You know, what I loved about that game was that we made every possession count. On offense or defense, we made every possession count. And I know it sounds like coach talk, but that's how you have to play to win a championship.
Well, it's what you guys have been waiting for all season long, a chance to go back to the NCAA tournament with an automatic bid and win a CAA championship. It all starts this weekend down in Baltimore. Of course, game schedule, more information, go on to GoHofstra.com. 4-5 matchup starts it off against James Madison University. He's Coach Mihalich. I'm Dan Savarino. We'll catch you next week, Pride fans.